Well, hello everybody and welcome to Jeff's Baking Blog. Today I'm going to make a lemon posset with a raspberry compote jelly. So I've made lemon posset before and it's very easy to make. It doesn't have many ingredients: lemon, sugar and cream, basically, with some lemon zest. That's all it is. And then the raspberry compote is quite simple. That's just going to be some frozen raspberries, which I've allowed to thaw out, but some frozen raspberries with some sugar and some vanilla extract. And then once that's been cooked down a little bit, some gelatine leaves are added into it to make it form a jelly as it cools down. So a very simple little recipe which makes an absolutely lovely dessert. And I'll go on to the ingredients. And for the lemon posset, I have here 150 millilitres, which is half a cup plus 2 tablespoons of lemon juice. And that actually was the juice that I got out of 3 lemons. So I have here the zest from those 3 lemons. I have 600 millilitres, 2.5 cups of doubled cream, and 200 grams, 1 cup of caster sugar. And then for the raspberry compote, as I mentioned, I had some frozen raspberries which I've allowed to thaw out. So here I have 300 grams, which is 10.5 ounces of raspberries, and you could use fresh raspberries, and because they've thawed out, they've released some juice as well, as you can see. And I have here 75 grams of caster sugar. Now mine is a golden caster sugar because I had some that I wanted to use up, but caster sugar or granulated sugar will work fine. 5 millilitres, 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract, and here I have 3 gelatin leaves, which is enough to set about 420 millilitres, 1 3/4 cups of liquid, basically. But what I will do, once I have cooked my raspberries down with the sugar and the vanilla, I will see how much I have, and then that will determine how many of the gelatin leaves I need to use. If I need more, I'll use more, but I don't think I will. So that's all the ingredients, apart from some water to soak those gelatin leaves in. And the first thing to do is to make the lemon posset, because that has to be made and then it has to be put into glasses or dishes and allowed to set completely, which is going to take several hours. And so to make the posset, I'm simply going to put my sugar into a pan and the lemon zest, and I'm going to strain this zest out later on. You can leave it in, but I like to strain it out to leave the posset nice and smooth, basically. And then I'll add my cream in as well. And I'll just mix those around to get the sugar mixed through, and then I'm going to put that onto the heat and I'm going to stir it constantly until it comes up to a boil. So I'll put the heat on and I'll start stirring it, and I'm going to heat this until it just comes to a boil. And then once it's boiling, I'm going to reduce the heat and I'm going to continue to stir it as it simmers for a couple of minutes. And as you can see, that's just beginning to boil now. And so very important to keep stirring so that it doesn't stick to the bottom. And I'm going to turn the heat down and I'm going to just cook it for another minute or two. And that's good enough. So I'm then going to strain that, and I've put my lemon juice into a larger bowl, and I'm just going to pour the cream through a sieve. And as you can see from stirring, that really hasn't stuck to the bottom of the pan at all. And I'm just going to use my spatula to push the remaining cream through the sieve and to get any juice I can from the lemon zest. And that's good like that. And then I'll gently stir the cream into the lemon juice, and that then needs to be put into some glasses or dishes ready for it to set. And just for ease, I'm going to use a measuring cup to put my mixture into glasses. And with my mixture I've divided it into 6 glasses. I will tidy up, there's a little bit I can see, I will tidy that up a little bit. I'm going to leave those as they are, just to cool down a little bit. And once they've cooled a little bit, I'm going to cover them loosely and I'm going to put them in the fridge and I'm going to chill them until they're set. And that's going to take anywhere between 2 to 4 hours. But I need them to set nice and thick and creamy, because later on we're going to pour on our raspberry compote, and we don't want it to sink into the lemon posset basically. So once these are cooling down and they're setting nicely, I'll come back and we'll make that raspberry compote, because that has to cool down as well. So the lemon posset is chilling in the fridge, and it's time to think about making the raspberry compote with the jelly. So I'm going to take my 3 leaves of gelatine and I'm going to put them into a bowl of cold water, and that's going to soften them. At the same time, I'm going to put my sugar along with the vanilla extract and my raspberries, which as I said are thawed out, into a pan, and I'm going to put those onto the heat, and I'm going to bring those to a boil, stirring them gently, and I'm going to cook them for 5 to 10 minutes until they thicken just a little bit and break down. So I'll put the heat on, and because my raspberries are very soft now, I'm not going to stir it very much, but I need the sugar to dissolve and for the mixture to come to the boil. And you may be able to hear that now. That's beginning to boil, and I'm going to turn the heat down a little bit, and just with the occasional stir I'm going to let that simmer away for 5 or 10 minutes. Now if your raspberries are frozen when you start the process, you may need to cook them for slightly longer. And how much they break down really doesn't matter, because it's a compote that we're going to jellify. And I've let those cook for 5 minutes, and I think that's long enough. So I'm going to turn the heat off, and then I'm going to add my gelatin into the compote. So I have about 300 millilitres of raspberries there, and I think 2 sheets of my gelatin will be enough. So it's nice and soft and flexible now, so I'll put 1 sheet in, and I'm squeeze out the water from a second sheet as well, and I'll put that in, and then I'm going to simply mix it around until I'm sure the gelatin is fully dissolved. So the gelatin has now dissolved, and I'm going to leave that to cool completely. And once it's cooled down and my lemon posset has set nicely, I'll come back and I'll spoon some of this onto each of the lemon possets, and then it will go back in the fridge to set. My raspberry compote has cooled down now, and there were so many seeds in it that I passed it through a sieve. I like some seeds in the compote, but I didn't want all of them, so I passed it through a sieve, which has made the compote finer, but it's also removed quite a few of the seeds. So what I'm going to do is I'm simply going to take some of the compote and spoon it onto the top of the posset, which is now set quite nicely after being in the fridge for 3 hours. And with the compote divided into each of those 6, I'm going to put those back into the fridge, and I'm going to leave them there until the compote has set into a jelly, and then they will be ready to serve. And once they've set into a jelly, I'll come back and I'll have a taste of one for you. So I've allowed my raspberry compote jelly to set on top of the lemon posset, and I'm ready to have a taste. So I'll show you what it looks like again. So I've just taken one out of the fridge for the time being, and as you can see, it looks nicely set. So I'll just take a little piece out and have a taste of it. That is very, very good. I'm going to have another little taste. Very good indeed. The lemon posset is very, very rich, but the raspberry helps to offset that richness to some extent. And that's tart as well. Very nice indeed. This is a lovely dessert, particularly on a warm summer day. And actually, it's quite warm here today. It's 19 degrees outside, so it's quite good for eating something like this. So that's going to be it for this recipe. It's not difficult, even though it takes a little bit of time. I hope you've enjoyed it, and if you have, please give me the thumbs up below and click to subscribe to my YouTube channel. In the top right hand corner of the screen there'll be an eye that you can click on, and that will take you to a link for the recipe, and I'll put a link below the video as well, and I'll be back with another recipe in the very near future. So until then, happy baking.